Hello and welcome to Prime Business. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, Ghana Revenue Authority intensifies distress action against business operators evading taxes at its hands over accountant of a popular food joint in Accra, Champion Restaurant, and others to the CID for issuing fake VAT invoices.
You do this and you get more problems for yourself.
No, I need to understand.
This thing was issued from you and you are behaving as if you've never seen it before. We're going to continue. So, like I said, we bring some sanity into the system. So those watching us.
Also, President Akufo-Addo invites global investors to partner African countries to explore opportunities in the African Continental Free Trade Area.
Help fund the recapitalization of the African Development Bank and Afri-Exim Bank to support industrialization, private sector job creation in the African Continental Free Trade Initiative.
And Bank of Ghana steps up its surveillance activities on Forex bureaus and other related organizations involved in illegal Forex transactions to help check the rapid depreciation of the cedi. Welcome again. Now let's take the details. The Ghana Revenue Authority has intensified its distress action to arrest business operators evading tax. The Compliance and Enforcement Unit of the authority today handed over the chief accountant at Champion Restaurant and Dishes to the Criminal Investigations Department for allegedly issuing fake VAT invoices to some of its customers. The team also stormed other bigger shops and supermarkets in the capital with similar action. Here's a report.
Where's the receipt? This one is from here. No, this is just a normal receipt. This is not. So where is it? We want to see this one. Down there, not from here. I think we that's what I want to understand. What you want.
You do this and you get more problems for yourself.
No, I need to understand.
This thing was issued from you and you are behaving as if you've never seen it before.
After the action at Champion, a famous food joint at Adabraka in Accra, the team, accompanied by the police, visited some 2 grocery and beverage shops in Dansuman, where similar tax evasion practices have been going on. Grace Has Found Me and Celebs supermarkets were found to be breaking the tax laws. Here is Area Enforcement Manager for Accra Central Branch of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Joseph Annan, briefing journalists.
These places that we visited are places that we had already sent our officers to buy. So we are talking of Champion Foods, we are talking of Grace Has Found Us, and then where we find ourselves now. And all of them did not issue the VAT invoice. And it is an offense under our VAT Act 2013, Act 870. It's an offense not to issue the VAT invoice. So we have arrested them. We've handed them over to the police. They are going to do their investigations. But for us, as tax administrators, we will assess them and then apply all the penalties and interests that are applicable.
Mr. Annan further warned that such distress action will continue until taxpayers comply fully with the law.
So we must come when you don't expect us, to be sure that even when eyes are not watching you, you do the right thing. So what they are saying, I do appreciate what they are saying, because I'm also human, and it's not palatable to be in this kind of situation. But the point is that if you are doing things right, we will not come in this manner. So that is it. And we are going to continue. So, like I said, we bring some sanity into the system. So those watching us and those hearing us, please, if you are registered, make sure that you issue the VAT invoice, because you never know when we will visit. We will knock at your door.
The 3 culprits arrested will be prosecuted as prescribed by the law.
We have every right, madam, we have every right to come in there and sort things out for ourselves. But I don't want to do that. That is why I'm saying that you yourself, give us what you say.
Well, President Akufo-Addo is urging international investors to pay attention to the African continent for the expansion of their operations. According to him, the continent is ready for business growth with the coming in of the Continental Free Trade Agreement, which has opened market opportunities for many. The president was speaking at the 77th United Nations General Assembly at the UN headquarters.
Allocation is some 33 billion United States dollars. If ever there was a time for an African Marshall Plan. It is now. The SDR infusion should be seized upon as a catalytic effort to leapfrog Africa to the next level of human development and ensure sustained global prosperity. African leaders have advocated for a prudent and transparent channeling of 25 to 35% of SDRs, that is $160 to $230 billion, from wealthier to vulnerable countries, $100 billion of which should be dedicated to Africa. We welcome the support of the European countries represented at the Africa Summit in France, the IMF, the G7 and G20 to some SDR redistribution. Mr. President, proceeds of channeled SDRs should fund vaccine acquisition and manufacturing, climate and green investments, and a Pan-African stability mechanism, like the European Stability Mechanism, that will safeguard financial stability on the continent. A part of the redistribution should also help fund the recapitalization of the African Development Bank and Afri-Exim Bank to support industrialization, private sector job creation, and the African Continental Free Trade Initiative. Thirdly, we must reposition key multilateral organizations and international financial institutions such as the United Nations, the other Bretton Woods institutions, and the G20 to reflect inclusiveness, support country investments in global public goods, and ensure fast-track financial support to build back better and prepare for future pandemics.
Moving on, there has been an unending debate on the impact of global development on the Ghanaian economy. President Akufo-Addo last night took his position on the matter to the United Nations General Assembly, insisting COVID-19 and the Russian-Ukraine war continues to make life unbearable in Africa. Speaking on the sidelines of a lecture held in Accra, a development and international relations expert, Professor Lord Mauko Yevuga argues the impact of the twin crises would have been minimal had the Ghana Beyond Aid policy been effectively implemented.
Well, I would say that the Russian-Ukraine war and COVID-19 have real impact because our economy is so integrated to the global economy. And when these crises happen outside, they have immediate implications because we deal with the global economy. We import things and we rely on investors whose investments are affected also one way or the other. But more importantly, because of the things that we import, like crude oil, those things, when the prices tumble in the world market, it have immediate impact on us. So if you look at COVID-19 also, it led to the shutdown of the global economy. I mean, certain sectors of the economy were not working. Airlines were not working. Hotels were not working. So the service sector literally shut off. And because of that, there's a direct impact. And we feel it here. We have the lockdown policies, even in our country, the local economy shut down. So these are crises that we didn't envisage, but they came to affect us.
The Bank of Ghana has stepped up its surveillance activities on Forex bureaus and other related organizations involved in illegal Forex transactions to help check the rapid depreciation of the cedi. It has therefore instituted a task force, including the police, to ensure the project becomes a long-term one. Over 76 black market dealers were arrested on September 20 through a swoop by the task force. Speaking to Joy Business, Yal Sapon, head of other financial institutions at the Bank of Ghana, advised Ghanaians to undertake Forex transactions only at the over 400 licensed Forex bureaus dotted across the country.
Yeah, actually, this area, as I indicated earlier, is engaging our attention. And we have teams out there that identify some of these institutions for us to deal with them. I want to re-echo that it is illegal to price or advertise foreign currency unless you have permission from Bank of Ghana to do that. There are a few institutions in the country that, by the nature of their operation, have been able to secure exceptions. But other than that, it is illegal for you to do that. And we will step up on our own. Bank of Ghana will step up, our monitoring to make sure that we eradicate this. But we want to encourage the general public to also bring them to our attention when they notice them. So the ones that comes to our attention, we deal with them. But what I would say is that we need everybody on board, the media and everybody. So if somebody comes to your station, your platform, wanting to advertise in dollars, you have to let the person know that this is illegal and you don't want to be associated with it. We have to let the advertising agencies also know that, and we have done that. So I'm sure that if we all collaborate, we can deal with this situation.
Ghana is ranked first in Africa with the largest outstanding debt to the International Monetary Fund. That's according to the fund's quarterly finances as of the end of July this year. The country's loans outstanding to the fund is estimated at $1.31 billion, special drawing rights equivalent to $1.69 billion. Charles Nixon Yeboah looks through the financial report and has more.
Ghana's loans outstanding to the fund represent 9% of the total number of African countries indebted to the fund. It is also equivalent to 178% of its quota or share of monies borrowed from the fund. This, however, excludes the COVID-19 support, of which the country received more than $1.2 billion from the IMF to fight the pandemic and aid economic recovery. The country's loan exposure to the Bretton Woods institution is classified as concessional lending. This means the interest on the loan is relatively small. As of June this year, the nation's external debt was estimated at $28.1 billion, with majority of the loans being commercial. Meanwhile, Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo are second and third in Africa, with the largest outstanding loans of 992 and 990 million SDR respectively.
Well, government is ruling out immediate negotiations with local bondholders as part of its debt restructuring program. Persons close to the finance ministry have argued that the government is yet to finalize the approach and areas that will be affected. There's more in this Business Desk report.
Government sources also maintain that they are currently waiting for the IMF World Bank debt sustainability report, which will guide or influence how this debt restructuring should be done and which bondholders will be affected. Government also confirmed that they are currently working on restructuring these debts, with several scenarios being considered. This follows proposals from the IMF that government should present a paper on how it intends to deal with the situation, but it is, however, ruling out having written to any local bondholder that they're going to start reviewing government payment obligations to them. Our source also asked that there was only an engagement with the Ghana Association of Bankers at their level to notify them that government is planning to restructure the debts and talk about the implications for the industry. Never communicated to these banks that local bondholders are going to receive any haircut. Meanwhile, Joy Business is learning that irrespective of the outcome of the IMF World Bank debt sustainability analysis report, government has taken a decision not to touch the local bonds. It is, however, not clear for now whether the plan will be to look at the foreign bondholders. Some analysts have also argued that this debt restructuring program, no matter the form that would take, may come with some challenges for the economy going forward.
President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, has retained his position as leader of the largest trading community in Ghana. This was after the various business groups under the association at the third quadrennial conference in Accra elected new executives to steer the affairs of the group for the next 4 years. In all, 64 members voted out of the expected 68 members. Speaking to Joy Business after his re-election, Dr. Joseph Obeng pledged his commitment to ensure a congenial environment is created for businesses to thrive.
I have a lot of work ahead, especially at this time when the economy is in this problem or crisis, as I may call, the exchange rate and all that. You know, we are not elected for anything. We are elected because we are business people. And so we have to safeguard the interests of our businesses. And for me, that is the driving force. That whatever thing that I do, first and foremost come to me as a businessman. And so we are going to continue with our fight for the welfare of the generality of the Ghanaian trading community, as well as even the consuming public.
Also commended the Bank of Ghana for the distressed efforts in clamping down the activities of black market operators.
We are all very happy the fact that they are being clamped upon, that it is about the best thing, even though it's long overdue, but they should be able to sustain this operation that they are doing. That's Bank of Ghana through the BNI, and that they should also not take the black marketeers as a scapegoat. They should, once they are arresting them, they should also probe to see the link that they are having with the banks itself. Because most times you go there and then the money that they give you, you see the bundle or the of Bank of Ghana stamp and all that. They do not conjure this money. Means that they are not doing this work in isolation. They are doing it in conjunction with the banks. And so, you know, some of these banks, they trade in the Forex as a commodity. And when they get it, they sell to the distance. That's not the way to go. And that, as we've started that, I believe they will sustain that.
Now, as part of its 75th anniversary celebration, auditing firm Deloitte Ghana is committing an amount of 400,000 cedis to the refurbishment and restocking of 8 libraries in rural and deprived basic schools from October 1, 2022. The aim of the project is to ensure a secured and conducive school libraries accessible to over 30,000 children in Ghana by 2030. Deloitte is partnering Spring UP Global Network, a youth-led not-for-profit organization working to bridge the literacy gap between children in rural and urban Ghana. Here's more.
Auditing firm Deloitte Ghana is partnering Spring Up Global Network, a youth-led not-for-profit working to bridge the literacy gap between children in rural and urban Ghana to realize its world-class purpose. This partnership will see Deloitte and Spring Up Global Network renovate and refurbish 8 school libraries, making secure and conducive school libraries accessible to cover 30,000 children in Ghana. As an add-on incentive and intervention, the partnership will also launch reading and writing clubs in the beneficiary primary and junior high schools in the country. Daniel Kojo Owusu is manager partner of Deloitte Ghana.
Looking really to make an impact in the life of the people in Ghana, and that's what we are seeking to do. We do not want our people to be left behind. And again, if you look at the enormity of the problem, it's so much. But we believe in making a small impact. We believe in starting to affect society in a small way. We believe that if we can even galvanize the people in Deloitte Ghana alone, and we can start something, and we can even affect 1 or 2 people that we can get from even each of the schools that we are looking to put those libraries, and we can monitor and follow the progress of some of these people and make sure that they grow up and they can become leaders that we are looking for tomorrow. Then we would have made the impact that matters as we seek to do.
On her part, founder and CEO Spring Up Global Network, Akofa Ama Akoto, said the initiative will help bridge the literacy gap, especially in rural areas.
This project is focused on nurturing the reading and writing skills of children. So we are so excited to actually be partner with Deloitte on this project to help children nurture their reading and writing skills from that lower primary and upper primary, from their foundation, so that in the next 10 years, 20 years, they will be well prepared for the world of work and probably even join Deloitte.
Meanwhile, the project is part of the firm's 75th anniversary celebrations and is expected to commence from 1st October 2022.
A former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Ebenezer Oduro-Ewusu, has called for a shift away from the export of raw cocoa beans to value addition of the commodity. According to him, Ghana will continue to earn very little from cocoa if it is not processed before exporting. Giving a lecture at the 75th anniversary of Cocoa Board, Professor Oduro-Ewusu said such a move will also guarantee farmers high returns.
Private investors must be encouraged to invest in cocoa value addition. I'm sure you've addressed that. See you. And this is very, very, very necessary. Of course, when there's value addition, we process our cocoa. At least the farmers are also assured of good monies for their pockets, farm gate prices, and that encourages people to get into cocoa production. We need to devise local content models that will encourage Ghanaians to invest in cocoa product manufacturing. Now we keep importing fertilizers. This is something very serious. Pesticides and other farm implements for our farming activities. Mr. Chairman, can we change this narrative? Is it possible to change this narrative? So as we speak today, I've asked someone to meet the Minister of Energy to make a proposal on how we can produce our fertilizers locally. We have the capacity to do it. Seriously, we do. When you go to Atuabo, all that wing sits empty. We have the capacity to do it, but it's not being done. So we have to change the narrative, and it must be done now.